Last year, I told you guys about Prosper before it was even public. When it went public, after I saw a lot of investors de-risking, I said, hey, Prosper does this. The predictive technology, the things that it does is excellent. The team behind it is excellent, and this bad boy is going to do well. It outperformed Augur, and I kept pushing Prosper. Guess what? Prosper is over $2 right now. $2.53 at the time of the video at this current moment right now. I hate to brag a little bit, but I told you so. And if you're wondering why, this thing took off, I'm going to show you right now. Binance will list Prosper in the innovation zone. Binance will list Prosper in the innovation zone and will be open for trading February 3rd, 2021 at 8 a.m. UTC. I mean, that Binance listing, guys, is absolutely huge for it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Prosper did that based off its performance. Now it's on Binance. Now there's a lot of liquidity there. I suspect that this is just the beginning. These guys have been really good at making sure their coin doesn't get crushed. I mean, it's very clear they haven't tried to do anything to put the check files on this bad boy. Like, they're really trying to keep their community as happy as possible. Do I think there's more room to grow? I don't know if it's going to have any immediate growth right now. It's just a fresh tier 1 exchange, a lot of liquidity happening, a lot of trading happening. It wouldn't surprise me if it stays around the $2 mark. Me personally, I would give it just a little bit of time. It could take off from here. I don't know, but you know how it is when something lists on a tier 1 exchange. There could be more de-risking. You don't know what's coming. Patience is something I would definitely exercise with Prosper if you didn't get in early enough. But there's more to come. There's plenty more things I've been telling you guys about that I know is going to have a massive liquidity event showing up. I do. I just absolutely do, based off the performance of the team, the token, and the amount of people that like it and people that talk about it. It's pretty easy to figure out what's going to go where. It wasn't hard to figure out based off the conversations that you see, especially on Twitter, that Prosper was going to hit that tier 1 exchange. Now, do me a favor, before getting farther in this video, make sure you smash that subscribe button, bell notifications, and likes, the whole 9 yards. Now, I got more gems. I have more gems for you, and I have more clarification on U8D that I want to give you guys. But first, I want to talk about something because everyone is going crazy about this. It's Ethereum. Cryptocurrency Ethereum hits record high ahead of a CME futures launch. I think everyone is forgetting on February 8th, the CME is going to launch its Ethereum futures. That means there's going to be a paper asset betting against the actual code-based asset. Okay, so if you go back to December 17th, 2017, on that particular day, what happened to the price of Bitcoin? What happened to Bitcoin before that happened? Went catastrophic. It catapulted. It went crazy. It literally mooned. Ethereum is doing the same thing right now. I know that the overconfident thing to say right now is it's not going to happen. Ethereum is not going to tank. Everything uses Ethereum right now. Everything's Ethereum based. It's going to take off. It's going to moon. It's great. It very well could be. It very well could be. That could be the very thing that's going to happen. But if it's not, majority of you who have bought Ethereum at the price point that it is at right now cannot afford a crash. Cannot afford for Ethereum to drop down to $500. So you really need to think about that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying make sure you trade carefully based off of what we see happening ahead of us and what previous experience has taught us. And another thing that everyone keeps asking about is why don't you talk about Bitcoin more? Why don't you talk about Bitcoin more? Here's the truth. How many of you guys watching this right now can buy enough Bitcoin to make a big enough financial impact to your life to say that you can become wealthy from it? There's not many of you guys. Very few of you guys can actually do that. And on the other side of that, something that concerns me about Bitcoin is if you look at Bitcoin, just Google Bitcoin right now. Take the time and go Google Bitcoin. Look at all the articles. Look at all the institutional players, all the billionaires talking about Bitcoin, all the millionaires talking about Bitcoin. I'm not sold on that. I've worked with enough really wealthy individuals to know that one thing that the wealthy do not do is open that playbook. They do not. Actually, if you've ever met anyone who's super wealthy and met their children don't even benefit from that playbook. Their children are usually left pretty damn broke to figure things out for themselves. That's a true story. I just don't believe that this over transparency from the banks about Bitcoin and this over transparency from billionaires about Bitcoin is with the intentions of trying to make you rich. I'm just not sold on it. I'm sorry, I'm just not sold on it. So I don't feel like I can make a big enough impact for my community with Bitcoin, and I'm looking for these altcoins to share with you guys to try to make you guys as wealthy as possible before this thing shuts down again. Okay, so let's go back to U8D for a second. The bootstrap phase is over. The super big interest APY is over. You're still going to get hourly interest on it based off the price. The price needs to be over $1.48. The higher the price goes, the higher the APY goes, of course, to help stabilize the price and keep things under control. All right, it's a really well thought out model. Think of things like Ampleforth, EST, DSD. They didn't put enough discipline within the model to help correct itself. Okay, and what these guys are doing is not trying to sit there and figure out how can I make sure this thing pumps so crazy that everyone can cash out, that we can cash out. They're trying to figure out how they can make something, an ecosystem, so stable that is beneficial to all the traders who get involved. It's beneficial to the platform to have more longevity. They're trying to work out the flaws. Remember, this right here was something built by the team that built this with their own cash. I have to emphasize that. They put in $500,000 of their own money. Zero raise. Zero raise. They're semi-anonymous, okay? Remember, Satoshi's anonymous too, okay? Anonymous doesn't mean shit. I have to just put it just like that. I mean, most people rather get scammed by freaking faces, I guess, but these guys put their own money into there. And when I say semi-anonymous, I had the privilege of having a conversation with them. I got to see their faces. I got to even know one of their developers, one of his favorite kind of trucks, okay? So, I mean, we had a conversation about cars. Really down-to-earth, very wealthy guys. So I'm not concerned about this being a rug pull. What I am concerned about is people misinterpreting the platform. This platform is designed to function without the same flaws that all these other stable assets try to do. I also had a lot of questions on how to make this work. A lot of people got here, they said, hey, I bought the U8D token, not sure how to do this. And some people weren't even sure which token to buy. If you look up here, let me take myself out the way, where it says trade, all you gotta do is click on trade, and over here it'll take you to Uniswap, and it'll make sure to pull up the proper token for you to go ahead and buy. Okay, so you don't have to worry about trying to go in there and getting the wrong asset. Once that token is purchased and it's in your MetaMask wallet, okay, you go ahead and you go click back to the very front of the page, open your wallet again, click on DAO. When you click on DAO, it's going to ask you what you want to do. You click over here for max for your stage, click deposit. It's going to take you to another screen. On that other screen, it's going to ask you if you want staged and LP. I can't remember the exact words. It's staged and something else. It's a combination of two. Accept that and go ahead and start staking. All right. It's that simple. All you have to do is watch the price of it. Once it hits over $1.48, you'll see interest earned. Now, am I saying that you have to stay locked in on this? I'm not saying you have to stay locked in on this. You can also play the game. This is meant for traders. This is meant to be a healthy ecosystem. It's not meant to be a ball and anchor. And what I like most about this right now is I see this as a very viable solution for an interest earning kind of maybe savings aspect. You know what I mean? Like if you have some USDC that you're just like, man, it's just sitting idle. It doesn't have to be a huge stack, even just a little bit. Like, you know what? I like to make this a little bit of USDC work for me. This is actually a good platform to have it work for you. Okay, just something for you guys to consider. Now, something else I brought to you guys a while back was Optionroom. Okay, Optionroom right now is in its pre-IDO/TGE. February 5th is going to be the announcement and all kinds of good jazz. Follow them on Twitter to stay up to date on all the information that's going on. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm excited about Optionroom. I'm not sure exactly what the outcome is going to be. But if you did not happen to find your way into the early seed or private or any of those rounds, okay, when it goes public, I want you to keep in mind something, okay? People are going to de-risk, okay? So watch for that de-risk. Let the de-risk happen. Be a little bit patient with it. Once you feel like the de-risk has already kind of really happened and people have pulled out enough off that bad boy, that's a pretty good time to sit there and say to yourself, is this the risk I want to take? All right. I feel that the de-risk event, like every coin goes through it, get people de-risk off of it. I feel that after it gets de-risked, people de-risk a little bit. I feel that over a course of time, midterm time, Optionroom is going to go crazy. There is a possibility based off of the way they structured this thing, though. Okay, and I'm going to say this. That at the moment it does go public, this thing can go crazy. It can go crazy like moon, but I'm not telling you guys to go and jump on that moon wagon, okay? I'm saying please trade cautiously. It can. The way this is structured right now, the way they did the initial market cap of 315,000, I'm telling you, this thing can go crazy. It can. But just trade carefully. So just keep that in mind. There's two ways that this can go. De-risking can weigh on it, but the same way it's structured, it can go through the roof. So public might not be a bad option for it. I also got a gem for you. This is just a little teaser. This is something that just was brought to my attention. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to say this. Prometheus. If you look at the dynamics of how the internet works now, on many spectrums, whether it be media, political, just any spectrum right now, ownership is a big deal. It's a very, very big deal. There's some very interesting things about Prometheus that's happening. Very interesting things that I feel everyone right now should at least be taking the time to consider adding it to your portfolio. I'll have more information on it. I'm digging and I'm talking to a few people that have more knowledge on this than I do. But I feel Prometheus is worth you guys deciding if it fits within your risk appetite. I feel like it's something that you should give special consideration to for your risk appetite. And that's all I'm going to say. And I would like for you to consider all the other things I've talked about before when I said, hey, there's some pretty interesting things happening, such as, I don't know, staffing. I said, hey, there's some pretty interesting things happening with staffing. I mentioned this to you guys before it was freaking hitting $1. It was like $1. It was like 98 cents or 90 cents, somewhere around there when I mentioned staffing. And then it kind of pumped up to $1.55 or $1.57 yesterday. It's holding at $1.40 now. Not bad returns. I even said something like that about what? CVP. Remember CVP? It was less than $2 when I first said, hey, there's some really interesting things happening here with CVP. CVP might potentially moon, and I don't think CVP is done yet. I think there's plenty more for CVP to be had. I'm waiting patiently on this bad boy, but going back to what originally I was talking about, the prom token, okay? There's some interesting things about it. The dynamics, what they're building, fits very well with the current narrative of where we're at right now with ownership and just data. More to come on this one. Now, I do want to end this with one more mention. Okay, and it's something else to consider. I get paid $0 for this stuff. $0 freaking dollars. This is anything I mention to you guys. I'm gonna have my own risk in this. I'm not doing sponsorships for this stuff. There's no need for it. So, Pond. I've been pushing Pond. When Pond dropped down to like a crazy amount, like crazy lows, I was like, guys, you gotta look at Pond. If you look at the people behind Pond, if you look at the things that Pond is building, if you look at who talks about Pond, okay, if you go look at certain places, it's not hard to figure out that Pond is catching a lot of attention, okay? Huge attention. So I can't emphasize how important it is to have Pond in your portfolio right now. I cannot emphasize how important that is. I would think you are crazy if Pond is not something that you're not considering for your portfolio. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just me saying I think you're freaking crazy if you haven't considered it. So take a look for yourself at who is talking about Pond. Dig in there. I don't think it's a mystery to know that a lot of big names in this space have took notice of Pond, what Pond is trying to build, who is behind Pond. I just think you'd be crazy to ignore this one. All right, guys. Well, listen. That is it. That's all I have for today. I know everyone has better things to do than watch my damn videos. Go make some money. Go make some money while this market lasts. I will keep bringing you gems. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. All right, guys? So enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.